Welcome to episode 33 of Tiger Talk. I am one of your hosts, Scott Ryan.
And I'm Becca Moore. And we have Coach Moore and QB1, Daone Owens.
So glad to have you guys here. I'm going to start with a little story. Today, I was at the post office. I am a book publisher, so I'm always shipping books. I'm at the post office all the time. And I have my normal girl, and she and I always talk about Taylor Swift. So she wanted to tell me some Taylor things. But I'm wearing my Maslin shirt, and the girl working there next is like, "Are you from Maslin?" And I said, "Yeah." And she was like, "I won a 50-50 at a Maslin McKinley game one year, and I won $4,000.
Oh my God.
And she's like, "They take their football there real serious." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And then we go back to talking Taylor, and then swear to God, another girl walks by and just looks and goes, "Maslin, hey, did you ever eat Krause's pizza? I live in Florida. My day today. Wherever you go, it's Krause's and Maslin with me."
And it's 86 degrees, right?
Well, yes, it is. It is actually nice and warm. But I just thought that was funny that both of them. And I said to the girl who always waits on me, "I wear a Maslin shirt every day. Why is this happening today?" So that's my little Maslin story to start us off. Daone, how about 1,000 yards rushing? The first QB in Maslin history. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd you
Really?
feel? Yeah, he crossed the yards during last week's game. I don't know what run it was, but how do you feel about being the first QB to have 1,000 rushing yards?
I mean, I don't really feel anything, I just go out there and do my job. But I didn't realize until this morning, until my running back texted me saying I broke, and I was like, oh, nice. And then I just went about my day, but it feels good.
What was the record before?
It was like 720.
Oh. Who had it?
My guess would be Willie Spencer, but that's just totally a guess.
Is it Willie Spencer? Do you know?
I don't know.
I think so.
Get the dice.
Get the dice. Roll the dice.
Well, it's weird that you said you didn't know, because Aiden Longwell called me this morning and was crying because he said you called him and just really harassed him all morning about it.
He still got it.
Yeah. He was in the stands. But yeah, I love Aiden Longwell's dad because he is so funny, like in the game. Like he's so loud. Hoover's like redone their whole section, but you could still hear Mr. Longwell. I just love him. He's just very passionate. So he's fun. And Aiden's such a great kid. So
Yeah.
not a kid, but he's a great guy.
Of course. Aiden did not call me. I was playing, of course. So I was very excited about this game because I wanted us to sort of have a downtime because we've played perfect all year long. And I feel like we haven't had adversity maybe since the St. Ed's game. How did you feel, Daone, in that first quarter when we were down for the first time in a really, really long time?
I just felt next play, we're gonna make mistakes. That happens. We're human. So I just have to bounce back from that and not mess up, and just go forward and lift my teammates up and just be a good teammate overall, and just be able to go out there and perform the best I can.
How did you feel, Coach, at the end of the first quarter?
Exactly like Daone felt. That was a great answer. I can't top that.
No, yeah, it was good. I mean, I knew we were going to come back, but I was just happy. If we're going to have that time, I really want to have it now, not, later on. So I think it's good for the team.
I think it's funny, like, if people panic, because if you watch Nate, he doesn't panic, and there's so much more football to play. And so I think that's what makes him such a great coach, because, like, if you watch the sidelines, I always just look at him and his body demeanor and stuff. And I think and I mean, I'm not a player, so Daone can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I think that plays into the strengths of the whole team and the coaching staff, because he's right. They just go to the next play. They know there's a lot left. And, from experience, Maslin's been very good at coming from behind and winning a game, because I think of being coached like that. The players just go to the last till the clock hits 0-0.
Right. I agree. And my other comment from the game that I'm just curious, like at the end, we recover the football and we take a knee because you're supposed to take a knee. But why is that more respectful than playing to the end of the game? Who made up taking a knee?
Question. I mean, I think what you're alluding to, Scott, is maybe wanting to stick it to him a little bit.
I'm actually not. I really mean it
I think
I don't want to stick it to Lake because we already did with the touchdown before that, where they got the 2 penalties.
I think if that's what you want to do, isn't it more so having the ability to score and choosing not to?
Well, it is interesting because I'm thinking like, what other sport do you
You
do
very
that in?
easily could have punched it in and made it 42-6, but we didn't,
Right.
and that was our choice.
But it's
not
true.
theirs.
What other sport like doesn't score?
What other sport takes a knee?
Basketball has to take a knee, but they just dribble.
Oh, do
Yeah.
they just hold it?
Yeah, just hold the ball.
Okay, it was just a thought I had because I was like, boy, is it more disrespectful to take a knee or to say, hey, maybe field the ball when we kick it? These are the questions I have. These are the things that come up to me. What about you guys? Anything from the late game?
I just was so glad to be in that nice venue. So I just want to give a shout out to Hoover and the people that worked the game. I thought like they were like super friendly and super nice. They have a new facility. They were really proud of it. The bathrooms were like super clean. It was easy to get in and out. I just thought it was very nice to be hosted there. I thought they were very friendly. So a shout out to Hoover and their whole team and then hosting it again this week because I know it's hard to find. We've had to travel further sometimes just to play this game. So this is going to be nice.
And we were complimented, Scott, by the Hoover people for, I guess, how kind and our players were, and how clean we left the locker room.
Good.
So North Canton gave Massillon kids a compliment. So how about that?
So yeah, that's very exciting. I'm sure next step they're gonna schedule us so people don't have to drive and waste gas driving all over the state of Ohio when we could play things in Stark County. Is he not happy with anything? He's got to bring up everything. My goodness. But that is nice to see that, of course, from our team because we always want to represent Massillon. Well, I thought we did all the way through. I mean, I thought it was a clean game, and that's what we want to see. So that's awesome. Daone, tell us about Green and playing for a regional championship. This is a trophy game, my favorite.
This is my first or second, I should say, since McKinley High. Is that really a trophy game?
Yeah,
We got a trophy. You can say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my first, OSHA trophy. Green, they're a pretty solid team. We're not going to underestimate them. They got a pretty solid defensive line. That's probably their strong suit. Linebackers are pretty solid, and then their DBs are also pretty solid. We're going to do what we do best. Just go out there and give it 100%. And playing for the regional finals is it's my first one ever, so I'm pretty excited. So hopefully we can go Friday and win it.
Of course. Now, Coach, I can't figure out, are they like 2 years ago where they just pretty much passed the whole time, or are they a run team? Because when I'm reading what haha coverage there is in the repository, I couldn't actually figure them out as a team.
Well, their quarterback got hurt in the McKinley game. So that changed things. So they were using their backup quarterback for 5-6 weeks, something like that. And we're more run heavy then. Although even with their starter before they got hurt, they were less 5 wide than they were against us in the past 2 years ago. but still a lot of 5 wide. And then the starters started last week, and they were a good mix, but definitely more open than they were with the backup.
Yeah, I would like to learn about defensive pass interference. That's what I think of with the green game.
I don't understand. Did they call that? They called they called a weird call. I was going to ask you about it. I can't remember.
At last week, it was the man down field.
Oh, yeah. I wanted you to explain that. No, it's not 21 seconds. I didn't understand when they said the
Ineligible man downfield.
I cannot comment on the referee.
Don't comment on it, but what makes an ineligible player? What's the rule? Explain to me the rule because I don't understand what's an ineligible player.
Well, so an ineligible player is any player who is covered on the line. So there's players that are allowed to be in the backfield, and then there's players that are on the line of scrimmage. Right?
Okay.
They line on the line of scrimmage. You have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. And if you're covered, meaning there's somebody on your outside that is on, then you are ineligible. Also, the 5 linemen that by rule have to wear 50 to 79 are by definition automatically ineligible. But players that can be ineligible, if they're covered by somebody on the line of scrimmage, they are also ineligible.
But one of
And
those
so
guys
any of those, so if there's a forward pass past the line of scrimmage, none of those players can be more than 3 yards past the line of scrimmage when the throw takes place.
He wasn't even 3 yards.
We're not commenting on the specific play.
But what
Yeah,
if he
not so.
but he doesn't throw the ball to them? So what makes?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If there's a forward pass beyond the line of scrimmage, they cannot be. There's a 3-yard grace period essentially.
So even if they're driving somebody back, does that
Correct?
count?
Yeah, no, they cannot be 3 yards, more than 3 yards
So you
past the
want
line
to
of
hold
scrimmage.
them? Okay.
No, you
You don't want to hold them.
Oh,
penalty
yeah.
in the other way.
Oh. So you
Okay, so just for me to understand this, if Emmy is lined up and a guy gets in front of him, you can't pass to Emmy?
If there's a guy on his outside who's on the line of scrimmage, then he's covered and he's ineligible. So in our base set, we'll have our wide receiver is outside the tackle on the line of scrimmage. Our Z receiver is outside of him and he is off the line of scrimmage. So the Y is an eligible player. If the Z lined up on the line of scrimmage, the Y would be ineligible.
Wow. So when a play gets busted and the quarterback's running back and forth and everything, and then they just chuck it and someone catches it, someone has to remember if someone lined up?
Correct. Well, I mean, they would. So pre-snap, the referees are communicating to the other side how many they have on and how many they have off. So and they know how many that they have on the line of scrimmage to their side.
Oh, that's why they wear those headphones?
Yeah, and then you can
they communicate with the headphones.
Oh.
Interesting. I thought those were for people to bid for the highest amount for the flags. Well, you learn things. It's questions like this that gets Tiger Talk all the love. Well, this is 7th year in a row for competing in the regional final?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. It's 6 or 7 or something, which is pretty incredible. And I always like to think of this is our league. We always say we're not in a league. This is our league. If we win here, we win our league, which is winning the region. That's what we want to do, right?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's at North Canton, and then we move on. So I like it. What else we got, Becca? Anything else?
I mean, that's it. We're just 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and that's how we're rolling.
We talk about Krause's Pizza a lot. I just found out that a lot of times after an away game, which we don't have a lot of those, but in the playoffs, neutral sites, very similar. But with all total, we have gotten about 700. I think they told me 700, or is it 400? a lot of bags of chips from Golden Crisp,
Oh, yeah.
another local Maslin company, and they have donated every single bag of chips to us.
Nice.
And they're like one of the only chips I really like.
So shout out! I mean, Golden Crisp are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal. I would put them up against any chip in the United States of America. They're phenomenal. They're still made the old-fashioned way, and they're absolutely delicious. And Golden Crisp supports the Tigers. The local Maslin companies support the Tigers. We really appreciate it.
Yes, I like to hear that, and they are really good with the Krause's pizza. I'm just saying, not that Krause's is there, but I'm just saying, together, that's a good one too.
Support Golden Crisp. Shop local.
Yep, always. All right, well, go out there and win your first regional championship, Daone. I'll be rooting for you, and we don't have to worry about how many yards you get now. You did it, so you can forget about that.
That was never the goal. But
So, well, it was a goal for me, for you. So you did it for me, and I appreciate it.
thank you.
Until next time, TIG.
Yes.
ARS.